Hello everyone, my name's Poetentate, but I go by Poe. I'm once again trying out different mic settings. Because I listened to the last stream and it was a little bit glitchy. I think I had the noise suppressor on too high. I changed where I put my mic, so hopefully my audio's coming out clear too. So let's roll with my mic settings on what they are currently, and then I will watch the recording back and see how it looks then. Alrighty then. So today we are trying to still trying to get to the event. It's what I've been trying to do for a while, but I love that dragon so much. It should circle around so we can see it on this side. I just love it being in the water like this. But we had a extra long stream. Oh, that is so cool. Oh my gosh, I didn't know he blushes. Oh, that's so cute. Anyway, we had an extra long stream last Wednesday for our first extra Wednesday stream, where I am trying to get to this event, this one here. But you have to, I think, be completely done with the main quest to be able to get to it, and as you can see, we only have 2 more days of it before it goes away. And so I have been speedrunning the main event, even though we have side quests building up. It bothers me greatly, but I have been speedrunning it as fast as I can, while also still trying to enjoy it, because once I get through the main event, we'll be pretty much done with Honkai Star Rail until they get like a new big update, because once I get done with the companion missions and the side quests, that'll pretty much be it for now. But don't worry, we'll just move on to my Genshin Impact game that I have. My file. I will not be starting a new file. That's way too much content to have to go back through. But you all can join me on my current file, and maybe that'll actually get me to finish the Sumeru quest. Especially because the Fontaine trailer just dropped. Because we'll be getting Fontaine very soon. I've only gotten like half done with Sumeru. I got through the Aranara quest, and I was really consistent with the game up to the Aranara quest. And then I got through it, and I was just toast. I was done with Genshin Impact for a bit. Like, I was like, I'm gonna do the bare minimum so that I can get the event-specific items and like the primos from events and the daily primos, and that's about it. But I'm actually really excited for it, because in the new Fontaine event, they also announced that my husband from Genshin, the other Dragon Man, is getting his banner rerun. I think this is his 4th time getting his rerun, and my goal is to eventually get C6 Zhongli. That way I can have healer Zhongli, and I can kick my Kokomi off my team, so I can have Zhongli as my healer, and then I can have my perfect team I've been trying to build for a while, which is, since I got them both last time, Kazuha, Alhaitham, Diluc, and Zhongli, and then I can sub in other elements as needed. But yeah, very excited. Actually getting into the flow of it, I just got like half done with the current summer event in Genshin, where I got Kaya's skin, and then I kind of was like, alright, I got the skin. I got the bare minimum of what I wanted from this event. Alright, so I think this is just the boss fight, and so I think this is, oh, did they... Okay, no, she's still there. I was about to be like, I think this is her boss fight, if everything is lining up where I think it is. So I think it's our boss fight with her. So, hence the title of this stream. Oh, you don't even get to see who you're encountered. Team must include Jing Yuan. I wonder... Enter the birthplace of Shinjo's long-life species and destroy Lloyd Ravenger, Philantelia's plot. What happens if you don't have Jing Yuan? How do you do this if you don't have Jing Yuan then? Or would you just like... Oh, okay, they give you like a trial version of him. Well, good for me is the fact that I actually already have Jing Yuan, so I don't even need the trial. I was supposed to be like, how is anyone else supposed to get this quest done if you have to have...
Has the General of the Lawfu chosen to grace me with his presence?
That witch! She was here waiting for us the whole time! Show yourself, Phantilia!
And the benefactors, too. Oh, patience, patience. Let me make myself presentable. Now I see why the disciples of Sanctus Medicus hold themselves in such high regard. The Arbor's traces really do possess the power of metamorphosis and resurrection.
That is so cool. Maybe I should be looking down.
All of you, ready yourselves. Don Hong, guard my back. I'm counting on you.
Understood.
Me over here is like, oh, pretty lights. Magpie instincts. Defeat Phantilia, who has seized the ambrosial arbor.
Phantilia, what is she doing?
Probably leeching energy from the arbor. She's so gorgeous.
Benefactors, behold this beautiful body. The miracles of abundance live up to the name. Let's see if I can put it to good use. The very power that brought the Xianzhou long life, I will use to bring it destruction.
Phantilia has usurped the power of the Arbor. All of you, focus on destroying the Phantom Flowers. I'll go for the body.
Let's make it quick.
Yeah, you always go for the add-ons.
So much bark with so little bite. Your attacks are futile. This body was born of the Arbor. You are but ants.
That's some strong wind!
March, careful!
I'll see you off. Let's go.
Try untangling yourselves from this.
I like that she just flicks us.
Give me more grief.
Your arrogance betrays you.
Rules are made to be broken.
To victory!
We'll hold off on using Jing Yuan's ult until more flowers spawn. Okay, so
A thousand thanks.
Let's make it quick.
Time for
I
the
did not
master
mean to
stroke.
use that.
Show no mercy.
Eternal sleep is not the
The dead return! On my command.
Okay, I meant to hold on to the ult until the flowers respawned, but
Forged in ice. Never falters. Let's go.
For the Ciencho!
Got it, Major. Nothing, Major.
Let's make it quick.
Vanquish the abomination!
But yeah, it definitely shows how little she like sees of us. The fact that like when we're fighting her, she literally just like flicks us with her fingers or taps us with her fan.
Rules are made to be broken. The name of Landau will forged in ice. Never falters.
I wonder if he does like more damage because he said to focus on the flowers while he goes for the main body.
Eternal sleep.
The dead return! For the Ciencho!
Blood.
Just a scratch.
Life finds a way.
Show no mercy.
I wonder if that's a Jurassic Park reference. The life finds a way.
This ends here.
This is gonna be a slow battle considering she has 3 health bars and it's taken us this long just to get through one of them.
With the weight of a star. How indulgent. The universe will end in destruction, and with it, the abundance and the hunt will disappear.
She looks so cool.
Rules are made to be broken.
Vanquish the abomination!
Alright, that was too fast for me. What did it say? It said something about debuffs.
Bloom.
You have my gratitude.
Repay.
Just a scratch.
General of the Ciencho.
Gunhung, you take it from here.
Did they just one-shot him?
It was over, Fantilia.
A scion of permanence. Have you finally remembered your duty of watching over the arbor?
Let's make it quick.
Oh, the music in the background.
Will forged in ice. Never falters.
I'll see you off. Receive divinity.
Much better.
Eternal sleep.
The dead return!
It's like I just got his debuffs to go away.
On my command.
How dare you redo the debuffs?
Let's go.
Oh, her ult is so good.
Hope you're prepared.
Bloom.
Much better.
Power of the arbor.
Fantilia, your scheme ends here.
Let's make it quick.
Show no mercy.
You chose the wrong enemy. Receive divinity.
Much better.
I do like that Dan Heng is assisting us. I kind of need it.
A foregone conclusion.
If she's gonna be like one of the bosses that we have to fight weekly,
Let's go.
it's gonna be hard.
Eternal sleep.
The dead return!
Rules are made to be broken. In the name of Landau, a will forged in ice.
Make sure we
Never
get these
falter.
shields up.
I'll see you off.
I should probably debuff.
Bloom.
You have my gratitude.
I'm the vanguard of the hunt. Our week still ends to you, Fantilia. So much effort to crush us, and met with so little success. I wonder what the other Ravagers would think.
It's almost as if you can't wait to be acquainted with them. I'm afraid you won't have a chance.
Oh man.
Out of ideas, Fantilia.
Oh, she looks less like she's about to take a nap and more interested in us now. I don't know if that's a good thing, but oh my gosh, she looks so pretty. Every single one of the ones where she decided to crush us looks so good. Okay. I don't know what these flowers do per se, but we're gonna take care of them just in case they're like buff flowers.
Receive divinity.
The entire
Time to end this.
In the name of Landau, a will forged in ice. Never falters.
gotta make sure we have the general
Eternal
buffed
sleep.
because if he's not buffed and dies, I think the entire boss fight has to be started over. Okay, thankfully they no longer are stealing my skill points.
Let's go.
So now that we've taken them out, I can focus on the debuffing flowers.
Bloom.
Much better.
Repay.
Fantilia.
Dong Hung, some support please. Sorry, I cut you off, Jing Yuan.
Vanquish the abomination!
No wasting more time.
Trifling. Show no mercy.
Let's make it quick.
I just got rid of these things.
Just a scratch.
Is that it? You chose the wrong enemy. Nothing major.
Time to end this.
Ooh, that's gonna do some
Receive
damage.
divinity.
1,000 thanks.
Eternal sleep is not the end.
Dead return! This ends here.
Rules are made to be broken.
On my command.
They almost sound like they're like
For the Xianzhou!
screaming. No, I should heal. Let's heal my tank.
You have my gratitude. This ends here. Let's go.
I want those debuffers out of the fight.
Never falters.
I am the vanguard of the hunt. Vanquish the abomination!
Time to end this.
I'll see you off.
Yes, I know what it does. I'm trying to use it.
Show no mercy.
Alright, I can't heal anyone apparently.
Let's make it quick.
Alright, done hung?
Fantilia, your scheme ends here.
Alright, let's heal
Receive divinity.
1,000 thanks.
Jingyuan first.
Eternal
Glad I
sleep is
clicked
the
that
end.
before she hit me.
Time to end this.
Oh my gosh, Locha is so useful. Thank you.
A will forged in ice.
Ooh, this would have been real bad without a healer.
Let's go.
Dang it, it revived.
Are made to be broken.
Forgive my indulgence. For my next trick, I shall turn each of you into my Void Rangers.
Every single one of her like different forms.
The power of the destruction will eat away at your flesh and transform you into pawns of the great Nanook.
This is usually where we would get the Hunt's blessing.
With this arrogant Xianzhou general.
I feel like that was a cutscene. Usually in boss fights, this is where we encounter the Archon who gives us a new ability.
I wonder if the transformation of the Xianzhou general into a Void Ranger would cast the law proof back into chaos. Destruction works in fascinating ways. What are you?
Donhong! Do it!
Okay, things just happened.
Not bad, General of the Hunt. But all I lost was a body stolen on a whim. And you, how much longer can you last? The destruction of the Xianzhou is nigh.
Be gone, pawn of destruction. Tell the Legion that the vengeance of the Hunt will fall upon them.
General, are you okay?
I'm still alive. And it would seem the two of us can still coordinate our efforts. Fantilia, a truly fearsome enemy. If she hadn't attempted to turn me into a pawn of destruction, I'm afraid victory would have been far from certain. Fantilia had established a link between me and herself. A well-timed strike gravely injured her. Thus, her connection to the arbor was severed.
Yeah, but does that mean we also injured you?
So it was all part of the plan? When Dan Heng stabbed you, I was scared to death.
Well, obviously she's still alive.
It takes more than that to destroy an emanator of destruction. Still.
Fantilia won't be stirring up trouble anytime soon. Don't worry about her infecting the arbor again. It's just that sealing the Stellaron is going to take some time.
Leave that to the Master Diviner. Whew. I'm afraid I may be somewhat spent.
General, keep those eyes open. Now's not the time to fall asleep. Hey, wake up!
What I was gonna say is Dan Heng's quite good at catching people. I'm pretty sure he caught us when we fell fighting Cocolia as well. Did not read that, a single line of that.
If we're not on patrol, we should get some rest.
Stay tuned to find out what happens next in the upcoming installment. The arbor snaps. Yeah, so what I was saying is, like, usually when we're fighting a boss like that, that's when we gotta pull out some stuff and get our next power. But, like, I haven't even gotten the rest of these. So, I don't know about that. We should get at least one once we can finally find that store. So it's just these three we'll need. Where they come from, I am not sure though. Because what are we gonna fight if that wasn't the final boss of this area? That we're gonna need, that we're gonna like, that we will get to see the hunt. Alright, can we finally do this quest? I finally have access to it, guys. Alright, this is the last. Help Jingyuan to defeat Fantilia. Hey, have you registered for the new Immersia that just came out? Come by my buddy. Immersia? Come be my buddy. Ugh. Oh, it's just a foxy and sympathetic Immersia called Viridian Soul, specifically for playing Celestial Jade, so we call them buddies. As long as you have a Jade Abacus, you can join in too. It's very easy. Ah, got it. It's basically a mobile game. What's a mobile game? I don't understand. Anyway, I've already registered. It's free. Now I can play it at work. You coming? I'll open up a friend room for us. I'd like to, but I don't know how to play Celestial Jade. Oh, it's easy. Come over to the games parlor when you have time. I'll pick it up. You'll pick it up in no time. Really? I'm not lying. With the number of people on the Express, it should be easy to find enough players. You can teach everyone after learning it, and then you'll be able to play it together. I'll send you an invite in a bit. So you get that invite bonus. Kayla. Ooh, okay. Kalis, I finished reading the files you share with me from the databank. After sitting in the seat of divine foresight for so long, I can't help but overlook the world outside the Lofu's delves. Is it Lofu or Lafu? think I have that as an A. Lafu. Okay, that combined with the long lifespan of the Xian humans made me feel that the entire world is as boring and changeless as myself. However, now that I've read the wondrous encounters of the Express crew, I realize that using my endless lifespan to travel various worlds would be a fun venture indeed. Fortunately, I still shoulder Lafu's countless duties and cannot accompany your group, but if I were to retire one day, what should I do? Take Ushuan's job. Work for the realm keeping. Obviously, he wants to come join us. He just stated that he wants to travel. Our express is pretty big. You can come visit, General. If that's a personal invitation, Kalis, then I might consider it. That reminds me, my dream as a young boy was to become a Galaxy Ranger. Pity that life never goes the way you want it to. If given the chance, where would you want to go? Perhaps I'll go seek out animals that have already gone extinct in the Xian show. Let us stop for today. Qingzu just carried in another pile of documents for me. Just looking at them is giving me a headache. You're working hard, General. I'm sorry I can't be of help. It's enough for me to squeeze out some time to chat with you, Kalis. All in all, I shall return to work. Farewell. Mr. Xian. Excuse me, is this the deceased Mr. Kalis's number? I'm very much alive, thank you. My apologies, I meant the distinguished. The autocorrect is a little morbid. You're a hero of the Xian show. I worked hard to get your contact details. In fact, I have some private matter I'm hoping you can help with. I hope it won't be too much trouble. What's the pay? Sir, you should know that time is money. That I am well aware. I will prepare sufficient compensation. I usually tell stories on the stage before the Sleepless Earl. You can find me there to discuss the issue face to face. This is the one. Okay. This is the one we've been trying to get. Alright. Oh. Quest. To make sure there's no other just obvious quests that I can go and get. Looks like there are, but we'll go through all these areas to get and we'll be able to get things. Alright, first, I want to look up where is the shop to spend Strail? This is the Jeweler's Pagoda in Central Starskiff Haven. Well, that's this one. Grocery store, vending machine. Sleepless Earl, vending machine, vending machine. Have I still not unlocked it? Where is it? There it is. Okay. Like 87% sure that was not there prior, but you know. As long as I have access to it now.
It's getting late. Where to now?
You think you can just take things from the counter like that? I didn't mean to make things hard on you. After all, it's just a small component. Or the Jeweler Pagoda here, a pawn shop, and that's why I'm particularly sensitive to a good price. One man's trash is another man's treasure. What are you gonna plan on doing with that small component then? I like to collect them for my inventory. It'll be useful eventually. Someday. But right now it's useless. I'm right? How about this then? Just now a young man just passed by the door of the Jeweler's Pagoda muttering about revenge, revenge. Go ask him. It might just be worth your while. If you manage to get something, come back to me and I'll tell you about the true value of this small component. Dirty mechanical part. Dear guest, you have just arrived in time. Better in luck than out of it. We have some amazing leftover goods for you. Let me be frank. See that customer who just left? I didn't mention any of these trinkets to him. The jeweler's pagoda engages in preferential treatment of customers? You may know this, but some come here to do business. I call them customers. Some come with other things in mind. Those I don't entertain. If you're a customer, I treat you all equally. Otherwise, I'm not obligated to treat you as such. The power to distinguish between a customer and a troublemaker is a particular trick of the trade. If you are interested, I can reveal a thing or two. I can also be of service if you're interested in our pledges. Alright, this is what I wanted. You can get 4 of them from here? Well, there went all of my strail. Actually, I have a little bit more. There went all my strail. Me over here being like, man, where do you get the other Eidolons? I know you at least have 1 in this shop. Comes here. You can get 4 here. I either just really missed this shop when doing anything, or it spawned in at some point and I did not notice it. Okay. So, ticket, jade, ticket, that. Okay, so probably next I'll go for these guys. I don't need them, but they're the next highest item on the list. Alright, let's go put those in. I guess the last one you get is from the quest I just completed. 'Cause 4 of them instantly does everything you need for the Trailblazer. Ta-da! I guess that means... I wonder how you're gonna get the hunt then, because like I said, usually when you're fighting against the big boss is so far when we've gotten the different powers. But we didn't get that with Fantelia. So...
Nice.
That's also something I was thinking about. So I'm actually really close to being able to buy another 5-star card from the Herta's Space Station store. And so I was wondering if you all think I should get the light cone that would work with my Path of Preservation, since I now have it E6'd, and I also have the traces fully maxed out. You need different relics, I think. But, do you think I should also get this light cone? I'm not going to use the Path of Preservation, ever, because I have Gepard, and I have no interest in him ever leaving my team. And so, like, I don't really feel like I need to invest in this card first. If we're getting the hunt path soon, I would almost rather get the hunt path for start investing in the hunt 5-star card. You all might not know what I'm talking about. Quick pit stop to the space station for me to use it as a visual reference. Here we go. Okay, as you can see, I only need 1 more. And I can either get this one, which is a hunt card, it's a 5-star hunt card, or I can get this one, which is a 5-star preservation. And what people have been stating is that they think the Herta Space Station 5-star cards are the ones that work best with the Trailblazer, hence why on the Path of Destruction I have this one and I have it fully maxed out. I have no intention of using his preservation path. I would get this just to have all of the cards, obviously, because it's like almost a free 5-star. I'm more likely to use this one, his hunt path, instead. And so I'm thinking that instead I should just invest in his hunt card first, because we'll be getting that power soon, so that I can switch to it when I need to, versus the preservation one, even though I already have the preservation, if that makes any sense. Am I gonna get it? No, I have to wait till next week, or I have to do World 7, because World 7 you get some of these. I haven't done World 7 yet because right now they're having the planner event where you get like double the drops, and so I've been focusing purely on the Bellabog ones for Gepard. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I'm debating about it. We just got a ton of tickets, so I wonder if I have enough for... Anybody know what to do with these once you've like maxed out the store? I've maxed out both of these stores, and yet I have more coins. I don't know what to do with them. Longevity pills. Oh wait, I had the... yeah, this one. It's on my Actually, where are my tickets? Oh, there they are. Alright, so I have 12 now, so we could do... Ooh, I need to pop by the store, it looks like. Let's see. Warp. Oh yeah, has everyone seen? Only 4 more days. Well, pretty much 5, since it's 4 days and 21 hours. 5-ish, 4-ish, 5-ish more days of Blade, and they just released the image of Kafka, so now we just gotta hold on to the hope that it's gonna be Kafka without pupils, because if it's Kafka with pupils, I'm not pulling for her. I will just save for 5-star Danheng. Might pull one or 2 times, because I know Luca is coming out on Kafka's banner, the new 4-star, the redhead from the boxer ring. And I pulled on Blades, not because I wanted Blade, but because I needed Su Sheng to have all the 4 stars. Let's see. So I might do the same thing. Alright, is this my star rail sticky? It is. I'm at 45 pity. So we might be able to get something. Early pity and all that. Streamer luck. Let's all believe in it. Ah, no. No early streamer luck. Alright, per usual, an Eidolon of my husband, please and thank you. It worked for me last time, so I'm always gonna ask for Danheng Eidolons. Ah, we didn't get him this time. We had to at least ask. And let's go to the store so that I can add more to the growing 5-star Danheng pile. And as you can see, I already did get the monthly resets. We're getting there, slowly but surely. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get it. Probably would have gotten it if I hadn't used some of these. I gave in and used some of these so that I could get Jingyuan his 5-star card when he was out. What you got? Make at least 1 so I have 1 in my inventory. I try to at least have 1 of everything in my inventory so that if I need it, it's... I've noticed sometimes you can give characters things, and so now I just try to have at least one of something in my inventory so that if a character needs it, I have it. I don't use any of these. Vomit-inducing agent. Trashy humor. Camo paint. Alright, I think that gives me... Oh, I need a new one of these. I used, I think, this on the, Oh yeah, I haven't done this yet. Yes, I actually, yeah, because I... Welcome, first. But yeah, because I left my day job, I'm trying to, like, actually stream a little bit earlier. So, yeah, I am streaming right now. You just missed it. I just fought and won against Fantilia, or Fantilia's avatar, technically, since it's not the real her, but just a thing she made. Discord servers scare me. But I did make a, I did finally use... Oh, I turned that back on. Oops. Hearing myself scared me. I finally used the schedule thing on Twitch, where it allows you to put in, like, a schedule. But currently, I'm trying to stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays at 3 Eastern Standard Time. Whatever time that is for you. But yeah, I am streaming right now. I haven't done this yet because I haven't really touched artifacts currently, because I need to get through everything else in the game before I even attempt artifact farming. Artifact farming is the last thing we do. But yeah, I am trying another mic setting, so hopefully this mic setting is a bit better than last week. Last week I was a bit glitchy because the noise suppressor was like, oh, you're talking a little bit softly? Suppress. Alright, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Use trash to synthesize consumable items 10 times. Nice, nice. 227 achievements. Alright, so we have finally gotten all the way through the main quest. We can now finally start on this event. I mean, watching live streams from bed is sometimes the best activity of the day. But we finally are able to work on the event quest that I have been trying to get to for... What is it? Has it been 2 or 3 weeks now? Okay, let's write down that there's some guy muttering about revenge for the small component, otherwise I will forget about it.
Nice.
And then let's superimpose this one, because I know I have it. There it is. I've used it briefly, apparently, since it has some levels to it. We can finally start the event. I would make my character bounce up and down if it... Yeah, I think you're a new shop, too. There's a gentle breeze today, so it's a good time to try a fresh Hunter Malfang, which is in season. We never neglect this tea in our shop, making sure we pick fresh leaves every morning for the afternoon's brew and afternoon leaves for the evening, ensuring you only drink the freshest. But in this tea house, we like to ask the customer preference. Do you like tea thick, strong, or mild? Man, we discussed tea already. I like a strong flavor. If it has a mild flavor, what's the point of me drinking it? The May 6th, the Xianzhou black tea. The strength of this tea depends on personal taste and sensations, but we refuse to serve tea that's too strong and bitter. Drinking tea is for pleasure and not torment. Since you like it rather strong, then the Xianzhou black tea with its red color and slightly astringent taste should suit you perfectly. By the way, if you're on business and in a hurry, we stock a range of cold bottled beverages for you to take away. You've really got the gift of gab. You won't bully me, right? You're too kind. I just started studying commerce and am not good at talking shop. Please forgive me if I ever behave inappropriately. Every customer here is my teacher, and you are no exception. But yeah, when I do drink tea, it's gotta have a punch. Otherwise, like, what's the point of me drinking it? It's the same thing with flavored water. I hate those flavored waters that, like, well, tea is pretty much flavored water, but I hate the ones where it's like you just barely in the back of your throat can taste a flavor. Otherwise, it's just water. No. If I'm gonna drink something flavored, make it almost knock me out. Brewing tea. Rules of the tea ceremony. It's all knowledge. Please be generous with your tips, and I didn't read the last part before I clicked. If a customer wants to chat, they have to sit inside. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to ask me? I'll have a cup of tea. Not it being boba. Sure, I'll have a boba.
Storytelling is such an outdated art form.
I meant to click collect so that I can have that book, but alright. You tell me, betting on star skiffs, Foxy and magic shows? Alright, I'm sure that I will get ousted for this, but I've actually never had boba before. Because I always wanted to make sure that I actually went to a boba shop to try it out for the first time. Because I was afraid if I got it from like anywhere else and it was bad, it would turn me off from trying it ever again. So I was always like, oh, I'm specifically going to try it for the first time at a boba shop so that I know that it's good boba. But then, like, I can never convince myself when I'm out and about to specifically stop into a boba shop, like, take time out of my day to go to one just to try it. And so I've, like, stayed in this level of limbo, having never tried it.
Who cares what you think?
It's also, I'm not a very big fan of tapioca, so I want to, like, start with the original boba, but, like, I'm not a fan of tapioca, so I'm like, I feel like if I try the original boba first, I'm not gonna like it, and then I'll never try any others. I'm not the biggest fan of tapioca, no. I feel like I always shock you with my drink preferences. Because that was like I was saying we talked about tea on this live stream before, is like I like cold tea and not really like warm tea, and that was the last thing that you were like, what? When I was streaming. Is any of them less amusing than sitting down for an entire day with a pot of watered down tea while listening to people ramble on?
Who cares what you think?
There'll always be a market for storytelling. You might not like it, but who are you to criticize it? Me talking to people about the fan fiction community, being like, it might not be your cup of tea. Yeah, my this is why usually when I go out I just get water. I'm just like, water's safe, it's fine. Because I also have weird lemonade preferences. I hate most lemonades because of they're like too sweet. I like sour lemonade, like barely any sugar in it. But But it also might be because I'm like mildly allergic to sugar, or allergic to it in a way. Not like if you get stung by bees and you're allergic, that kind of allergic. It's just
Storytelling is
a lot of
such an
stuff with like
outdated art
sugar
form.
in it makes me
There are
sick.
people who like it. Who cares what you think?
Yes, I agree. Lemonade in America
Storytelling
is
such
awful.
an outdated art form.
All right, Mr. Jian. It's the same thing with chocolate. Like, I always heard that American chocolate tastes like hot garbage, and I was like, how much better can chocolate taste in other countries that everyone that comes here says our chocolate tastes bad? And then I moved to Korea for a year, and I was like super intrigued to try chocolate in Korea. And yeah, American chocolate does not taste nearly as good. I was like, yep, they are correct in that opinion. Anyway, so curved wood must be bent again to reach straightness, and finding truth from exaggeration and lies takes knack. When real is fake, the fake is also real, and you need to toss a coin to hear my spiel. I am Zian, a humble storyteller at the Sleepless Earl. If you'd like to listen to a few novel-length tales, you might have to wait here for a while. Alright, another one that surprised me that like tastes so different from how it tastes in America is cheese, but I didn't know if that was just like a South Korean thing, or if that's how most cheese tastes other places, because cheese in South Korea is sweet. Like, it literally tastes like a dessert, and I was so baffled. I was like, why is this sweet? Why would you put sugar in cheese? Then again, though there is still time for the story sessions, if you were to sip some tea and listen to a few tunes, it wouldn't be a complete waste of time, would it? Cool. I just got some boba. Then you come to the right place. The Sleepless Earl is the premier tea spot. Will you shut up, background character?
There are people who like it. Who cares what you think?
The Sleepless Earl is the premier tea spot above the Xianzhou La Fu. Don't let the innkeeper's young age fool you. Her research on how to simmer tea leaves is unrivaled. If you would mind my humble opinion. Yes, definitely. Yeah. God, I miss dumplings in South Korea so much. Ugh. And bulgogi. If I ever go back to South Korea, I noted down the restaurants I went to. If I ever go back to South Korea, specifically Seoul, I'm hunting down that shop that I had bulgogi with. And as long as it's open, I don't care what time of day it is, I am going in and I'm ordering the bulgogi again because my God, that tasted so good. Alright, if you wouldn't mind my humble opinion, order a pot of Hunter Malfong tea. Satisfaction guaranteed.
There are people who like it. Who
Some
cares
guests
what
are
you
tea
think?
aficionados and often pontificate about all kinds of expert tea lore at the Sleepless Earl. I'm not a smart man, but I have memorized some facts and can show them off. Would you be interested? Alright, I'd like to start the event. I've been trying for ages to get to this event. Ah, would you look at this brain of mine? Lost in my storytelling world again. How could I just forget about that? My brain was like tteokbokki, and then I was like, that's not what you spelled at all. Hotok? Yeah. But yeah. I tried tteokbokki. It's very like the rice cake that goes in, it's usually in like a broth. They do it in other things, but I mostly had it in like broths. It's okay.
There are people who like it. Who cares what you think?
I really liked the tteokbokki and it was like tteokbokki ramen with like octopi. It was really good. I tried the tteokbokki and I was like, it's good. But my friends were more, the people who brought me, the teachers who introduced me to the place were like more in, like, they really liked tteokbokki, and I was like, yeah, it's okay. So I just let them have all the tteokbokki in the shared soup dish. I was more interested in like the quail eggs, like the boiled quail eggs that were in there. Those tasted good too. This is making me hungry. Lost in my storytelling world again. How could I just forget about that? Which reminds me, I have a favor to ask you. There's been a lot going on aboard the Xian show recently, with the Ambrosial Arbor new growth and those disciples of Sanctus Medicus causing a ruckus, and all the new feeds reports that you've played no small part, Kalis, in keeping the peace. Yeah, whenever I talk about food that I enjoyed in South Korea, it makes me so hungry, and like, there's probably, I feel like I'd have to go to the coast, specifically one of the cities, to be able to get food even close to what I ate when I was in South Korea. Because like, it's so hard to get food that's like authentic. But there's no literature out there on the market right now really capitalizing on this. I'm just thinking, why not get ahead of the curve and make a bit of a killing in the box office? Alright, Mr. Disney.
Storytelling is such an outdated art form.
And so,
there are people who like it. Who cares what you think?
I'm about to go back there and strangle these side characters. I humbly invite you to tell me of your heroic exploits. I'll definitely spin out a brilliant story if I could just get my hands on those first-hand accounts of yours. You want a recap? Wonderful, if you could be so kind. Yeah, but you've already taken my trip to Bellowbog and you're selling it for money here. I saw the little excerpt elsewhere. Yeah, no, they repeat it so frequently that when I'm clicking on this, I constantly hear them. I'm just like, can you all shut up? Mr. Xian takes out his phone and prepares to record your tales. In a world where memes and cringe collide, one trailblazer must rise to the challenge. It all started with this cute girl known as Little Miss March, and then some old wise man called Grandpa Yang. Dang, they're just like, oh, the entire fandom calls him a grandpa? Make it canon. Mr. Yang was just aged like 50 years. Oh no. You rattle off your journey so far aboard the Lafu in a deep dramatic voice, adopting the style of the hit wet drama 3-minute butterfly immersion. From your arrival on the Xian show to your bloody battle with Phantilia, you do your best to cover all the ups and downs and twists and turns of your story, but Mr. Xian's attention span seems to be waning. He even turned his phone sideways during the Battle of Evermist Mansion, no doubt to sneak in a couple of hands of celestial jade. We're the one helping you, sir. You should at least pay attention. The man who calls himself Galactic Baseballer was locked in a heated battle against the Master Primus of the Disciples of Sanctus Medicus, and for the Xian show, this was a battle for life and death.
Conflict is pitiless.
Yes,
Show no mercy. The dead return.
The entire time that I was fighting Phantilia, I was gushing about
A will forged in ice never falters.
We're gonna lower the bottom of the battle a little bit. I was gushing about her design. It's so good. But yeah, I love how she just like, for the most part, looks like she's falling asleep at the beginning. And it's just kind of flicking you as if you were literally just a fly and like swatting you with the fan. And then like once you get to her later battle, she's like actually annoyed. But I think I said it, but I'll restate it. Each one of her different like stages, because they gave her like different color schemes, will be great for cosplaying. because each one is like a very different vibe and would be like great for cosplay. Because you have the initial like cottagecore looking one, which is the first stage, and then you have the goth one, and then you kind of have like the sun form. They're all great. But she is so pretty, and her voice actor on point. Oh my gosh, her voice is amazing. Very excited when we fight her in the future. You finally finished telling your story. Mr. Xeon looks pretty pleased too. This old fox has apparently played a winning hand. I am really, if all of the destruction Ravengers are gonna be that pretty, like we already know Nanook looks gorgeous. Fantilia, 10 out of 10. Like, why did you join the path of destruction? Well, apparently it gives you a glow up out of this world. Good game. I mean, good story. You are done there with the story, right? Don't look at me like that. I've been listening attentively the whole time. You should take your rights. Take your this man was not even paying attention to you when you were doing him a favor. You should just leave. Your story, however, has some issues. Even though the plot is not that boring, it's written in a way that is overstretched, underwhelming, and predictable. I can see where it's going from a mile away. Dang, was this like the first for the beta? Was this the beta testers' notes to Star Rail when they were writing it? It's a truce. It's what happened. Let me tell you the truth, hard as it is to hear. Who cares about the truth? If you want the truth, just go and watch the news instead. That is false of the biggest degree. And hearing you talk about combat, how should I put it? It's really stale. You hit me, then I hit you. It's a bit monotonous. I swear these are the comments from the beta testers. It seems that the developers were a little bit petty. You know about the immersion genre we have here on the CN show, right? Or perhaps it should be called an interactive fantasy experience, despite what IPC thinks. Well, those fights are exhilarating. Leaping onto roofs and over walls, splitting over time and space, anything goes. Genshin? Overall, I think this story is lacking a few exciting elements that we need to draw in the audience. But its commercial potential is unlimited. What should I do? Please hold on 1 second. I'm just fetching something for you. This thing is what we call in the industry a protagonist model. Legend has it that some immersion troupe has invented the magical tool for the industrial scale screenwriting. And even though Akavili takes on thousands of different forms within thousands of different nameless, you may have heard that actually there's only a dozen or so archetypical protagonists recycled through these classic legends and tales. This shows that there are rules to follow when telling an alluring story, and that's how this thing rose to meet the occasion. Take a gander. All you have to do is set up a diverse range of encounters for a protagonist along a hero's journey, and let the protagonist gain various mystical abilities and treasures before magically defeating a powerful foe. And that's how you make a wonderful story. Literally us going from world to world, getting all the paths of blessings of the eons, and eventually we're gonna fight and defeat Nanook. But oh no, actually there's someone behind Nanook, and Nanook is not the end boss, and we have to fight someone else, and yada yada. My explanation alone can't do it justice. You better take a look yourself. In short, the protagonist model is like a simple magic wand. So long as you follow its patterns, you can easily craft pulse-racing, heart-pumping stories for your audience. How about this? You and I hit up a site of your former battles, the Alchemy Commission. Revisiting old haunts will definitely get the creative juices flowing. Let's flesh out this protagonist model. I will humor you since I'm such a nice and helpful protagonist. I knew you were kind-hearted. In other words, a pushover. Alright, let's push on then to the Alchemy Commission. Oh, he just teleports us. That's nice. What is a protagonist except another word for pushover? They have to go and help especially video game protagonists. They have to help everyone to get the powers and setup they need to be able to take on the final boss. If they actually just went in a straight line to the final boss, it would be anticlimactic, just as this guy says, and probably underpowered. If I'm not mistaken, the decisive battle of your adventure began right over here at the Evermist Mansion, correct? Why are we going straight to the decisive battle? Ah, you don't understand. You see, the audience's time is precious, and their patience ever thinning. People want it all to be over in a minute, a whole show. Slow-paced storytelling is a big no-no. Oh my gosh, that's me with webtoons where a romance is being set up. I'm over here just like, we are 15 chapters in. I better at least see some hand-holding soon, otherwise I'm gonna lose it. I am not one for slow burn. I know some people are really into slow burn. My friend is one of them. She's also a writer for fanfiction for like a niche genre, niche character pair, and she does slow burn. Oh my gosh, I cannot. If they're not doing the Devil's Tango by at least chapter 30, if not sooner, I lose it. Even my storytellers have to take our cues from the audience, get them warmed up with an icebreaker, then with a snap, we'll cut straight to the most exciting part. You said that this is where you and your companions fought against the Master Primus of the Sanctus Medicus. Was there any conflict that you encountered here, or perhaps did she stoop to a dastardly tricks to really put you between a rock and a hard place? Combat difficulty. Very easy. I just walked up and started fighting. I feel like the interesting bit would be the fact that we were friends with Danshu before we found out that she's the villain. Wouldn't that, you could insert that and then go to the fighting to create some tension. Like, my man, are you even a storyteller? Even if you're cutting out a bunch of parts, we could still make this cool. She was actually kind of a slow fight, so I wouldn't say she's very easy. She wasn't all that difficult either, though. I'm just gonna be annoying because I don't like this man. How is that possible? How could a great battle be exciting without any swerves or setbacks? Please give me a moment to sketch out a scene. Ah, here we go. Listen up. The Legion was in cahoots with the Master Primus of the Sanctus Medicus. Using their arcane powers, they activate elixir cauldrons to spew forth venomous vapors as they try to take out Kalis and the other Munificent? What is that word? We're just gonna look up definitions now. A large or more generous than is usual or necessary. A large? I don't see how that fits into that sentence, but okay. Magnificent makes more sense for this sentence, but alright. Heroes in one fell swoop. For a moment, a mesmerizing miasma filled the air at the Alchemy Commission. Despite the vigor and strength of Kalis, it was too much to deal with, and simply overwhelming. The situation grew so grave that Kalis and his companions concocted a genius plan. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, the realization suddenly dawned that this was still the Alchemy Commission, a paradise known for forging the elixir of life. The disciples of Sanctus Medicus had received their mandate from the rune author. We though can strive for a miracle pill from the Alchemy Commission, turning over a new leaf to be born new through generations of cultivated power. What the heck is all that gibberish? That wasn't gibberish. We Xian show people love hearing stories play out like this. Well, I am not giving you the rights over to my story if you're going to turn it into this nonsense. A glorious treasure, the elixir of life, take it for a shortcut past centuries of martial arts practice and cultivation. Then suddenly, pow, we're smashing enemies left and right. That's not a lot to love about that. Oh my gosh, I've read so many webtoons, like Chinese webtoons, with that, where like the main character is like the underdog, and then he gets beaten up for whatever reason and falls into a cave. And in that cave happens to be like a pill or something, and he takes it and then instantly goes up to like the level or a little bit higher than his bullies, and then he goes and like beats up his bullies. I have read those webtoons. They are fun. I love a good revenge story / overpowered protagonist that takes revenge. We enjoy it as long as they're not too smug about it, because they took shortcuts to the top. They're like, oh, my hard work. The only part I don't like about them is a lot of them are like, oh, my hard work and effort. But like throughout the story, constantly, they just like get shortcut pills. They happen upon cultivation manhwa or cultivation manuals and pills or plants, like 1,000-year-old ginseng or something, that instantly pushes them like 3 cultivation stages higher. It's like, it's not really hard work if you're just finding shortcuts constantly, but alright. Don't interrupt me, it's a good start. Next it'll go a fortuitous encounter. Kayla studied the surroundings carefully, fixating on 3 elixir cauldrons on display at the Alchemy Commission. Kayla suddenly remembered that the Vidyata healer lady had once... Why does no one call her Bailu? Why does everyone call her healer lady? She has a name. Had once mentioned that these 3 elixir cauldrons and how they contained essential extracts of everything in the universe condensed into elixirs of life. Once put together, these 3 divine ingredients can be concocted into the elixir of dragon oil, which can make you born anew and achieve transcendence. Doesn't that name sound like lazy writing? I am sorry for the ad-lib name here. Anyway, what else am I going to call an elixir that magically imbues powers like this? Let's go to the elixir cauldron over there and keep at it. I'm sure this will give us some quality inspiration. My man, my story is interesting enough. If you don't like it, make up your own. You're pretty much making up an entire new story anyway. Thinking of this, Kalis jumped right into the elixir cauldron. I'm afraid it would roast me alive. Is this really safe? Aren't you just jumping the shark here? It's just an outline for now. Don't think about it too much. We'll polish it later. The first draft is mainly about getting the flash of inspiration. Our heroes enters the elixir cauldron. I would be dumping this man into the elixir cauldron. The question marks was literally like the embodiment of my thoughts when we loaded in as the Psy Crane, so don't worry, it all makes sense. Kalis leaped into the elixir cauldron, but suddenly felt as if the whole world were spinning. Our hero opened their eyes to find themselves that they turned into a Psy Crane. The book implies that this is a hidden containment mechanism in the elixir cauldron, designed by the first cauldron master of the Alchemy Commission. Anyone trying to take the elixir of life would first be transported to a Fantasia to undergo the trial. You call this making sense? The first cauldron master got up to some shady stuff, huh? How about we throw in some quantum mechanics stuff? It'll make it sound smart. I am against this the entire way. Don't try to confuse me. You've interrupted my train of thought. The first cauldron master of the Alchemy Commission hoped that one day someone would break the containment mechanism, clear the trial, and take the elixir of dragon oil right in the nick of time to save the Lawfu from certain doom. In a curious twist of fate, Caleb was none other than the heroic one prophesied by the first cauldron master of the Alchemy Commission some 1,000 years ago. Oh, good luck with your music. But yes, thank you for lurking. Thank you, thank you. Alright, after interacting with the roost, you can start remotely controlling the Psycrane. Psycranes can fly, allowing them to reach areas that are inaccessible to characters. Characters will remain at their original position while the Psycrane is being remotely controlled. While in control of the Psycrane, you have the option to either ascend or descend as desired. Psycranes can be used in different scenarios to accomplish various tasks. Okay. I do kind of like that we are the Psycrane. Kalos concentrated all his ki to his core radix, thus breaking the containment mechanism in the Fantasia. Kalos concentrated all his ki to his core radix, thus breaking the oh, blah, blah. Careful, don't get caught by monsters. Let's descend. Oh, it doesn't let me go under the bridge. I was gonna go up under it and behind them. But it does not let me do that. Let's do it this way. Oh, he's just repeating the same thing over and over. As all the containment mechanisms were gradually lifted by Kalos, the secret treasure of the first Cauldron Master was revealed. Oh, the Psycrane's kind of cute. You got an Ice Fire Lotus. Well done. Kalos transformed into a Psycrane, weaving and darting around the Elixir Cauldron to clear the trials left behind by the first Cauldron Master. I thought you said that they wanted, like, to be, like, that people don't want long, drawn-out stories and want to get straight to the point. Why are you adding an entire arc that did not exist? What Kalos beholds is a lotus blooming with ice crystals while in the flames. This is a medicine that has been extinct since the Theopathy era, the Ice Fire Lotus. The Ice Fire Lotus is utterly indispensable when concocting an elixir of dragon oil. Come on, let's go then. On to the next Elixir Cauldron. Just bear with me, okay? Seeing these places in person really got my creative juices flowing. Why am I even in this story if it has literally nothing to do with my actual story? Just make your own OCs. Do the monsters just pretend we're not there now? Having plucked the Ice Fire Lotus, Kalos sees as an opportunity and leaps into another Elixir Cauldron. Little do you know, repetitive behavior instills a sense of ritual in people. That's why important details have to be repeated a few times over and over. Yeah, only if it's done correctly in storytelling is that important. Otherwise, it's really annoying. Okay, Kalos returns to the Fantasia, hunting for the secret treasure left behind by the first Cauldron Master of the Alchemy Commission. But suddenly, an unsettling aroma aroused the senses. Were it any ordinary person, it would merely be discarded as a mistake of the sentence. But what kind of hero is Kalos? The treacherous danger was instantly detected. The book implies that this is an abundance beast, sealed within the cauldron by the first Cauldron Master of the Alchemy Commission. Oh, how the Anyway, covet such glorious treasures, yet die filled with hatred at the gnaw of a beast. Man, the first Cauldron Master was ruthless. That's the trope for treasure hunting stories. The ancients always leave behind these secret treasures with fatal booby traps hidden within. Don't ask me why, but it's a screenwriter's convention. Kalos couldn't help but sneer, asking if there's any danger across all the galaxies that can stop my might. With a beat of his wings, our hero took to the sky. I feel like this man is insulting us. Like, he's specifically doing this to be annoying. Alright, there's the first one. This man's making fun of us. That's what I'm trying to implicate. Oh, I can go up really high. Ooh. Alright, so if you get spotted, you instantly have to start over. Okay. Oh, but you keep the progress that you originally made. Okay. That's nice, at least. All the containment mechanisms were gradually lifted by Kalis. The secret treasure of the first Cauldron Master was revealed. You have a life-death polypore. Well done. Kalis completed another one of the first Cauldron Master's trials. What appearance next before our hero was a mushroom flitting in and out of existence. It is written that there is no mortal mushroom. It sits within a state between existence and non-existence, constantly fluctuating between real and imaginary. It's called the life-death polypore. Finally, we're getting down to some quantum mechanics. Right then, Kalis had the life-death polypore, lacking only one final medicinal herb before the elixir of dragon oil could be concocted. Hey, no way. Actually, I have a little notebook where I recorded all kinds of obscure things. I can show it to you if you want. So these medicinal herbs, they really do exist? The names of these medicinal herbs are indeed constructs of my imagination. I mean, not all of them are completely made up. Enough gossip and bluster. Let's get to the next cauldron and start cooking up the next story. I guess we just get to ignore the monsters while we're doing this quest. How about it then? Ready to start plotting out the next part of your story? It's not my story. You've made an OC. You've completely destroyed my character. Having plucked the life and death polypore, Kalis goes all or nothing, leaping into another elixir cauldron. This eye crane part's fun, though. I hope they implement this later in the game, you being able to turn into, like, a flying beast of some form. Back into the Fantasia once more. Without a trace of fear or trepidation, Kalis felt like an old hand. Kalis calmed right down to the sense and the feeling left behind the Fantasia. Those feelings were warm, gentle, and liberating. There was never any doubt that there was the soul-cleansing grace from the first Cauldron Master of the Alchemy Commission. Don't say that. The first Cauldron Master was thinking ahead about any misuse that might harm the Xian show, you see. Or is that a bit far-fetched? No problem. Don't even worry about it. This is just the first script. The first script, I tell you, I'll just fix it in post. That's me when I'm writing. When I'm writing my story, it's just like, do I know what's going on? Half the time. We'll fix it in the next draft. We're just trying to get the first draft to get the story outline down. We'll fix it in the next round. Don't worry about it. How did they get from point A to point B? I don't know. We'll put something in later. It'll come to me later. Kalis knew this warm sensation meant that the most dangerous part of the trial has been passed. What now greeted Kalis was the first Helm Master's blessing. Take off, Kalis. Welcome to this, your final trial. Okay. Kalis was determined to put the knowledge to use and find the Cauldron Master's secret treasure. Kalis concentrated... Okay. Trying to get out of the way so I can actually descend. Something's blocking me. That alert scares me every single time. Oh, I didn't even know we were doing... We could lure them to different places. As all the containment mechanisms were gradually lifted by Kalos, the secret treasures of the first Cauldron Master were revealed. You got a Whirlbolt Thematifer. My ribs are starting to give me some difficulty. Kalos completed yet another trial, only to find himself trapped in a vast white fog. Once it cleared, Kalos saw a huge tree with floating roots. Despite no obvious breeze, the floating roots swayed in the air, cleaving the very air in twain with flashes of lightning paired to each swing. This is when the most precious medicinal herb was hidden at the Alchemy Commission, the Whirlbolt Thematifer. Kalos harvested the best of the floating roots and left the Fantasia on the first Cauldron Master. No, that's not actually a Psycrane. It's the result of your true, pure, unfettered soul projecting into the first Cauldron Master's Fantasia. You can't really think of it in the terms of a normal Psycrane. There is a limit to the suspension of disbelief, you know. It's what the audience wants, though. Competition is entertainment. Circles is so fierce these days. How is a storyteller supposed to compete with all the razzle, dazzle, and hype of something like Immersia? There's only one answer. Manufactured outrage. I love that the Genshin and Honkai, like any of the Hoyoverse games, just... the writers are, like, so plugged into the internet. It's so great. I can say all the stuff they can't do in Immersia, and I can say what they don't dare say in Immersia. Anyway, there's no tax on bragging, and words have a habit of disappearing like the wind. Back to the topic at hand. Previously, our hero Kalos acquired all 3 medicinal herbs required to concoct the elixir of dragon oil. All that remained was to cast the ingredients in the elixir crucible, and this miraculous elixir would be his. Oh. Run away from the monsters. The medicinal herbs are really cool looking, considering that they're only in a event. Kalos placed the 3 medicinal herbs into the crucible one by one. First came the Ice Fire Lotus, its fiery heat and blasting cold blended together, bursting out infinite natural force. Next came the Life Dove Polyporal. Its quantum impermanence stabilizing the paradox inherent in the Lotus. And finally, Kalos tossed the Whirlbolt Thematifer into the crucible. With a flash of thunder and lightning out of the blue, an entire thunderstorm formed inside 1 square inch of the crucible. Kalos plucked up the courage to reach a hand into the storm. After a while, Kalos' hand pulled out a sparking medicinal pellet. Isn't this supposed to be the part in the story where I almost fail and then I somehow successfully create the pill? All of the other Chinese webtoons that have to do with cultivation have us do that. We work super hard to get the ingredients, and then we almost fail creating the medicinal herb, or pill. And that, my friend, is what leads a mortal onto the path of immortality. No, I shouldn't have used that word on the Xian show. Anyway, it's basically a miracle drug that makes you be born anew and achieve transcendence. Behold, the elixir of dragon oil. Kalos swallows the miracle elixir and instantly felt as light as a feather, but as strong as an ox. Our hero could leap 30,000 miles in a second, or lift up 10,000 tons. Kalos knew now was the time to settle the score with those pathetic, detestable disciples of Sanctus Medicus, wreaking havoc on the Xian show. Are we the baddies? Listen to yourself. Power in and of itself knows no good or bad. Only people do. Is a kitchen knife evil when it's in the hands of a chef or when it's in the hands of a murderer? Less idle chit-chat. Please, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, lend me your ears. Next up we have the main feature. Calamity and Snares, Commission of Alchemy. Nameless Battles, Author of Plagues. If we put it like that, then this act will be complete. What happened to the fight? You don't understand. The most difficult thing for a screwdriver is the protagonist development. Once the protagonist character is settled, it's gonna be so easy just to write in as many battles as you want. Look, this isn't exactly the best writing place for us. Come back to Starship Haven with me, and after I process all of today's inspiration, we can chat more about combat details. I would throw this man off a cliff. I would never let this man write my story. Not when he's literally ignoring the entire actual story and just putting in his own OCs. My man, just make your own OC. You don't even need me. Thank you for helping me sort out my thoughts and get some inspiration. I'll start right away. Mr. Zian took out his notebook and began scribbling at a furious pace. Shortly after, he handed over the manuscript to you, filled with satisfaction. I've already written the part about the nameless battles author of plagues. That's right, our protagonist is on this quest, that is, you, has experienced all these adventures and taken this elixir of life. I have to add a few strokes to the protagonist model, so that it's not forgotten next time. Speaking of which, I have left with tons of inspiration rattling around in my head after today's help. I'd like to use some of your side adventures on the Zian Show's material to write some of the side stories. It'll help flesh out your protagonist model. So I'll write out some of your challenging adventures. Why don't you listen and tell me what you think? Are we finally done listening to him talk? I would love that if we are. During the event, complete the hero's journey. We haven't even got to the event stuff? Oh my. Hero's journey with Mr. Zion to unleash the full potential of the protagonist model. There are different slots in the protagonist model. The plot armor that can be selected for each slot is different. Slots and plot armors will gradually unlock as you progress through the hero's journey. Using these abilities can earn you points and rewards in Legends Past and Present, and will also gradually unlock the Legend of Trailblazer sections. Oh, excuse me. I can see why people sometimes get sick of this game, because we literally just spent 20 to 40 minutes just listening to this man talk. And we're not even to like the actual events. We just unlocked the event stuff. No wonder people get sick and like just skip things, like for example in Genshin. Because people are really prone to skipping the dialogue in Genshin. No wonder. Protagonist model can be continued to be used after switching to Legends Past and Present. Head to Mr. Zion to start Legends of Past and Present for the first time. Please tell me that we're not going to have to sit there and listen to him speak again for like another 40 minutes. I don't think I could withstand that. Protagonist models obtained during the hero's journey can be used in other sections. Click the button to use the protagonist model. Oh, okay. Increases allies' skill damage by 100. Increase allies' follow-up damage by 100. Considering that these are the characters you're using, the follow-up damage would be more useful. Okay, after an ally uses their ult, their next action is advanced forward. Every time a skill point is consumed, it heals the ally. No, again, if you're using these two, the follow-ups are more useful. Oh, I see the warp trotter right there. I'm trying to think. If we're doing if we're basing it mostly off follow-ups, we should do Herta. We get Himiko. Jing Yuan, because he has good follow-up damage, and we'll throw Sampo in. Okay, this mechanic has a turn limit. Before the turns run out, enemies will continue to appear. Defeating more enemies will earn you a higher score and greater rewards. The remaining turns will be displayed as a countdown on the action order, shown on the left. Dealing damage to any enemy target before a turn ends will earn you points. Defeat the Trotter during battle will reward even higher points. Alright. Alright, one trotter down.
Conflict is pitiless. Show no mercy.
You won't get away. Time to twirl.
To betray my customers, I charge extra.
You won't get away.
I've never used Sampo. I have seen his ult before. The Betray My Customers one. And that is delightful. But also, are his knees okay? Like, sliding around on those all the time must be so painful. I can see why a lot of people just, like, use Herta and Himiko constantly, because, like, follow-up attack, ult, follow-up attack, ult, follow-up attack, ult, constantly. To the point that, like, most of my other characters aren't even fighting because these two just keep using fast actions to go forward over and over and over again. Oh, one of them's actually gotten to the I'm scared and I'm about to run away phase. But we got it anyway. So from what I understand from what they told us is that the monsters or the enemies will come infinitely. You just have a set amount of turns that you're doing. And then you're trying to build points. My volume's really low, not the game. I just turned the game's volume down a little bit so you could hear me better. But I don't know if... Is this better? Am I louder? I just didn't want, like, the game to be too low. Because I always, like, I don't want it to be, like, too... Okay, the game is lower. Yeah, I was turning the game down just a little bit, because of the fact that if I wanted to talk, I didn't want to, like, have to fight the game. Character used each time will become the main character of the story. After all passages are acquired, you will receive a limited of rewards that can be viewed in the mission item panel of your inventory. Not one of those, like, insert your character doing something. Man, I've done games like this. Oh my gosh. Okay. I like that they put Sampo as, like, the simpering friend character, because he fits that so well. And then Jing Yuan is, like, the I'm too cool for this character, and then Herta and Himiko working together. Sampo is so great. I can't wait till his 5-star, like, until they make a 5-star version of him, because I know everyone's gonna be shelling out some dough for that. I'm really hoping though, and a lot of people are as well, that if they do make a 5-star of Sampo and he does turn out to be like one of the foals, like he's a masked foal, that he that his 5-star form is like of him as a masked foal kind of thing. So I'm confused. So I haven't unlocked 2 yet, but I got all of the points for 1. Complete chapter 2 to start. Oh no. Are we really gonna have to do, like, each of these where we go out and help this man get inspiration for each section? Are we really gonna have to do that? Oh no. Alright. You see, you can't take care of much when you're busy. I almost forgot we agreed to meet. I've been keeping myself busy, coming up with the rest of the plot, but we may have a problem to which I haven't been able to find an answer yet. Based on your original story, after taking on the disciple of Sanctus Medicus, you almost immediately fought your decisive battle against the Lord Ravager of Fantilia. Don't you think that's pushing the story along a little too fast? If that's all I had, why, I'd finish telling the story in a single session. I wouldn't get the chance to set up one of my cliffhangers goading everyone to buying tickets for tomorrow. Stay tuned for next time with Mr. Xian. And I'll tell you what, the protagonist model isn't perfect enough if we do the plot this way, so I've come up with an idea. I'm not sure what you think, so I'd like to run it by you. I mean, that's what we could have used the pill for. It could have been that we fought the disciple of Sanctus Medicus, and then in her dying breath, she poisoned us, and then we had to go and get all these alchemy pills or whatever, ingredients to make a pill to cure us. Then we go to fight Fantilia. Like, we could have done that before we did the pill. Like, your structuring is terrible. Nameless, you're not the only one, right? Those other heroes have thrown themselves into the adventure. Is it possible perhaps fudge things a little so that you will be the one doing those deeds? That's fraud! Yeah, but, I mean, no? What I mean is, could some of the nameless heroic deeds be pulled together and attributed to a single archetypical character? You can just have other characters. It'd be like, oh, and then like how we had the side quest with Dan Heng. Creating archetypes like this makes it easier for our audience to become emotionally involved. How about it? No. So then, are there any companions whose exploits are suitable for us to add to our story? I'm not throwing Dan Heng under the bus so that you could make your shoddy story with him. Leave my husband alone. You fill in Mr. Xian about What? I just said no! You fill in Mr. Xian about Dan Heng chasing you all the way. Uh-huh. The High Elder story of yours is interesting, but a little tricky to pull off. It branches off in all directions with some red herrings. It was way different from the masterpieces I've personally written about the High Cloud Quintet. It's fine. No one will ever believe this man when he's speaking. No one, except for, like, the old gossips, but, like, everyone else that must listen to this man must know that he is just writing fan fiction. Therefore, a drastic adaptation is required. Oh, God. We'll cut off everything apart from the beginning and the end. Maybe we can fix the story after all. I've got a rough idea. Let's go to the Scale Gorge waterscape then. Perhaps we'll be able to find our inspiration beneath the statue of the High Elder. I thought that place was sealed off. I didn't think you could just, like, go there as you please. I thought this was a place that only, like, the people that the general and the council decided could be there, could even go. Why are you allowed to just tramp on it? Drinking in, just looking at this magnificent... Didn't we break this dragon? Why is this dragon still here? Wasn't it the seal? Just looking at this magnificent statue of the High Elder causes inspiration to flood my brain like a waterfall. Think they call that going soft in the head. I wasn't being literal. I meant torrents of storytelling swirling into a waterfall of literature. It said that Kaelus's power surged after taking the elixir of dragon oil, but alas, the Lord Ravager was still an emanator of the rune author. How could a mere mortal hope to contend? It was then that Kaelus realized the Vidyara were descendants of dragons, whose high elders naturally possessed ionic powers. If those powers could be borrowed, transcendence shall be achieved. Didn't I already achieve transcendence? Hey, ever hear of hyperbole? I studied at the Royal Academy on the Yaoxing, and I am a professional playwright by trade. My writing has structure, and I would never be sloppy. With the miracle elixir flowing internally and the High Elder's power protecting externally, a mere emanator, or even the rune author themselves, would prove no match for Kaelus. I don't think Nanook would agree with you. Forget about the details. I told you, this is a first draft. We'll revise it later. Just focus on the main plot. Back to the topic at hand, please. The scene should begin with you searching for clues around the statue of the High Elder. Dropping adventure into every scene of the plot will definitely help us flesh out this protagonist model. I reckon this will take the better half of the day, just like the last time. So why don't you go off and get ready? Fortify that stomach of yours or go to the bathroom first. They're like, this is going to take another 30 to 40 minutes. Are you ready? Come find me when you're ready. They really were just like, this is gonna take 30 to 40 minutes. How's it going? Ready to start? Yep. I literally am about to roll my eyes into the back of my head. Did you break into the Scale Gorge waterscape to try and beg me for the power of the High Elder? You're joking. Is this some kind of outworlder joke? Who's speaking? Up here. I'm right in front of you. Don't turn a blind eye to me. You're a statue? I am the statue of Yubei, the High Elder, steeped into the essence of moonlight. I have taken consciousness. I just smacked my microphone. You're an outworlder who doesn't even know who I am, yet you dare come here to claim the power of the High Elder so rashly? You'll never get your hands on it. Fine, I don't even want it. A statue that can talk? Fine, I foolishly believe that you, as Nameless, would be well-traveled connoisseur, but it seems you are rather finicky, shall we say. But then again, I'm nothing more than a statue. I can hardly lecture you. What about, I set a trial for you. Pass it and you'll gain my recognition. I'll then grant you whatever you wish. I wish to be rich. I wish for 3 more wishes. I'm not some genie in a lamp. We can talk about this again once you've completed the trial. Centuries ago, Don Feng, the High Elder, got led astray in life, triggering the sedition of the inhibitor Lumne and leaving countless mirage echoes filled with hatred throughout the Scale Gorge waterscape. Few of them still cling to vicious hatred, causing all kinds of ruckus that really starting to get to people. Please get rid of these ill-witted mirage echoes. That's the trial I have for you. Maybe I can find the one treasure chest I'm missing, too, while I'm here. Sense of existence. Document directly Article 3630. They always mock me for being nothing. How can I earn the respect of the preceptors? Why does my existence become visible every time a troublesome task presents itself? This doesn't seem to be the one. Office of Deep Sources, Document Directory Article 3632. The High Elder's Dream Divinations. No, not this one. How about the Vidyara not figured out an automatic file management system yet for their massive library? This doesn't seem to be the one. Back when I was just an egg, I dreamed that there was a little fox playing around the water with me. When I grew up, I found her out there in the world just as she was about to die of old age. Just the thought of that made me burst into tears. This one? I was supposed to be chosen as High Elder. That cursed Don Fung. It was you who stole my rightful power from me. How did things end up? The preceptors got the wrong person and plunged the Vidyara into crisis. That was exactly what they deserved. This one's it.
Is that all?
Here, this thunder!
Rules are made to be broken.
Summoners.
A will forged in ice
Never falters.
Conflict is pitiless!
Just a scratch. Is that all?
Here, this thunder!
A will forged in ice never falters!
Conflict is pitiless! Show no mercy!
That should be it, right? Time to go back and report to the statue. Kayla successfully completed the trial and returned to the statue of the High Elder. Is it going to teleport me there, or do I need to walk back? Oh, it teleported me. How nice. The grievances hanging over the Scale Gorge waterscape have cleared a little. I think you have indeed completed the trial. You really do live up to the moniker of the Nameless. Now that you've completed the first trial, it's time for the second trial. You're making me do all the 12 labors, aren't you? Don't worry. This will be your final trial. You're not even going for the trial of 3? Beyond his imprisonment, Don Fung buried all his treasure deep within the Scale Gorge waterscape. They say that before he set out, he spoke these words. Second trial. Is something going to happen in the second trial? Rules are made to be broken! What's that about? Anyway, the second trial is to find the treasure, return to its original owner, and reset the wheels of fate. Kalis found the High Elder's secret treasure trove thanks to the statue's guidance. We don't even do it ourselves. Oh no, okay, he tells us where it is. When Kalis arrived at the place, he immediately smelled the presence of Long in the air and thought this must be where the second treasure of the High Elder lies. Are we just breaking pots? Really? Is my sense of smell that good? Let me see if there's any place to hide a treasure. Looks like one of Don Funk's treasure items. Report back with it to the statue. Oh, it was about to be last time we got teleported. This time we have to walk back, but it's teleporting me again. Taking the Zelda approach, break all the pots to find the treasure. So I was right about you. Being able to complete these trials proves you are a trustworthy person. It does not. No thanks, we're good. Yuve, questionable, I just noticed that. The truth always comes in threes. You may have passed the first 2 trials, but now comes the final and most important test. That's what I was saying when he said the second one was the final trial. I was like, wait a minute, usually it's in threes. And please don't tell me that I'm not trusting, because this third trial is the answer which you seek, the power of the High Elder. We, Vidyata, naturally reincarnate in cyclical continuity. As the previous High Elder has advocated and undergone hatching rebirth, a new High Elder will be reborn once more. I want you to find this Vidyata egg and deliver the rebirth of the new High Elder. From then on, this new High Elder will be your help and support you in overcoming any hardships you may encounter. Go, Nameless. The help you seek is at hand. Not us, like, stealing egg Dunhung. Kayla's found the soon-to-be-born and impending High Elder thanks to the statue's guidance. So that means we're either getting Dunhung of an egg, according to the story, or we are stealing Bailu, because Bailu is the new incarnation of the Elder this time around, isn't she? If I understand the plot correctly. Egg theft time. Kalis found the luminescent Vidyata egg, and indeed there was a creature about to break free from incubation, and so Kalis carefully delivered the new High Elder into re-existence. You are insane, sir. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. There, are you happy, sir? Isn't that the screen? Oh, that's fine. We're getting close to calling time anyway for today. It's getting close to the end. I was thinking we'll get through the second part and then I'll probably be good for the day. So you're just on time. I'm just using a typical Xianxia literary device. Nothing special about it, okay? I admit it's a bit far-fetched, but I couldn't think of any other way of to express things. Ah, forget it. That's our first draft for now. As for the exact details, I'll leave that up to future Mr. Xeon to worry about. All in all, I hear the dragon in the background. With the help of Kalis, the newborn High Elder of the Vidyata successfully hatched from their egg and was thus reborn. Born wearing clothes? What's so weird about that? There's another Xianxia classic tale that tells of a rich boy born with a silver spoon, or rather, jade abacus in his mouth. The newborn could make divinations 500 years back and into the future. Yeah, but the silver spoon, like, is usually used as a metaphor about the fact that they're born into a rich family, and so they're already set for life because their family has a lot of money. The newborn High Elder stared blankly at Kalis, and at this moment Kalis should bear the sacred responsibility of scripting a name for this newborn High Elder. Dragons derive power from their names. Why do I have to name it? Because you're the protagonist of this story! Kalis named the new High Elder as... I like that we can use his boxing name. John Doe. Donhung. Cold as frost, but nimble as a dragon. A fitting name. As fate would dictate, Cold Dragon Young. I am specifically using that because if Danhung ever hears this atrocity of a story, he will immediately know what I'm talking about. The new leader of the Vidyata has been reborn, but just as the two were immersed in the joys of life reborn, crisis loomed imminent. A horde of disciples of Sanctus Medicus had found this location. The fleshly reborn High Elder and the Outworlder who took out so many of our brothers and sisters. So this is where you are. Quick, take action at their weak position to rid them once and for all. Go! Fear not, Kalis. Let me chant a cloud hymn to protect you. These schmucks are nothing to worry about. Faced with the advancing enemy, Kalis concentrated all his ki to his core radix as he shouted... What kind of hack plot is this? Sure, okay, fine. The plot is bad, but the plot is progressing along nicely, isn't it? But the High Elder gave a clear shout as the battle began. I'm going to protest this plot the entire way there. You may be dragging me down into hell, but I am going to leave my fingernails in the dirt.
The dead return!
at all.
So, turn down the audio just a little bit so you can all hear me. So, I have recently taken up Pilates, now that I have a little extra time since I'm not working a day job. And oh my gosh, Pilates people who do it regularly scare me now, because I'm like following like a beginner's YouTube Pilates course, like exercise routine, and I am literally always shaking by the end of the exercise. Like, I am all over shaking. And so people who do Pilates, and usually it's only like 30 minutes and then I walk for the other 30 minutes, so I get like an hour of exercise. Like, people who do straight Pilates for an hour are scary. After this battle, Kalis and Cold Dragon Yun forged an alliance in blood between which none could ever hope to drive a wedge. Be patient, everyone. The next act, dear listeners, is our long-awaited martial arts fight scene. Traveler treasures heart of Scions, Dragon Lord commands wrath of seas. If we put it like that, then this act will be complete too. Where did the fight go? Didn't I mention martial arts scenes are the easiest of all to write? Just a couple of strokes on your protagonist model is all it takes. As someone who has been writing some, fight scenes are actually really, really hard to write. At least in my opinion. Mr. Xeon began scribbling at a furious pace as before. He soon let out a long, satisfied sigh, which seemed to be a habitual pattern for Mr. Xeon's writing process, and handed the protagonist model over to you. This scene is complete. Take some time to have a look at it and feel free to share any feedback with me. What follows should be the climax and the end of your story, so I need to think carefully about how it's written. It's already getting late and we both put in a lot of effort. I will head back to Scarskiff Haven and let's keep in touch if inspiration strikes. So long! Alright. But yeah, Pilates girlies and boys scare me now that I have been trying to follow a beginner's workout for like a week.
Storytelling is such an outdated art form.
Mr. Kalis, hello, you can't let go of my spellbinding story, can you? Who can resist being the protagonist of their own epic adventure? The protagonist model is so incredibly useful, but I've ended up writing a few more stories. Wonder what you think of them. Not the Blade Losha setup. If an ally's HP is reduced during their own turn, regenerates energy equal to 55% of their max energy. Damage dealt by allies is increased by 50%. However, at the end of the turn, 10% of the current HP will be consumed. Oh, increased by 50. High Elder MK1000. All allies max HP increased by 150. MK2000. All allies attack increased by 50. All allies crit rate increased by 25. Well, you always go for the crit rate. And then at the end of every turn, restoring HP equal to 15% of the max HP. When an ally receives healing, increases their crit damage. Or for every 1% of HP and ally loss, increase their damage by 0.6. No. Crit damage, crit rate. Always go for those. Alright, so Blade and Locha. What? Huh. I'm gonna put Gepard in. Because let's do Bronya. Crit for life, yes. Gepard. Blade. And Locha. Trial Locha or my Locha? I'll do mine. Yeah, no, whenever I'm building artifacts in Genshin, if it does not have crit damage or crit rate or both in it,
Your end approaches.
turn down the audio so you can hear me. If it doesn't have crit rate or crit damage on it, I just immediately discard it. That's why I haven't even touched, that's why I haven't even touched the artifacts in this game yet, because I'm like, that's all I'm gonna end up doing once we get started with it, so. I have gotten to traces, though. I've got everybody up to level 60. I have everyone's light cones up to 60. So now I've started doing traces.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. To guard and defend. Crush them.
A will forged in ice. Never falters.
But yeah, so I had started Pilates, so that's one thing.
Savor it for me.
One thing I should have been doing, but I didn't, was I have like 4 different jobs that I found that I should have applied for this week, but like editing your resume and cover letter constantly to apply for every job is just such a task. It takes at least an hour if you're doing it like like if you're personally editing them for each job. So it's a while.
A will forged in ice. Never falters.
I have been reading, I always tell you what I'm reading at the time when I do these streams. Currently I'm reading Arcane Sniper. It's another one of those like guy goes into a virtual reality kind of thing and plays the game. So in Arcane Sniper, the main character is a soldier, and because of he was a sniper specifically, hence I guess the title Arcane Sniper, but he was at the shooting range and he was helping them pack up ammo, and the ammo was mishandled, and so it exploded, and this like gave him really bad injuries, which included making his legs immobile, like he can't walk anymore, or he can only walk like a very little amount, but it's really painful. So he's like super depressed about it, and so he his, I think it's his brother, it might be his friend or his cousin, learns about this video game where you can like go into the video game world. We'll pause for a second. Oh, so I got S here and I only got A here. Because I didn't get the 50,000. I got all of the stuff with the jade in it, so that's all I care about. Let's see. Oh. Calamity ensnares Commission of Alchemy. Locha is now the one who's being the simp. Blade is the one being cool, so same like Jin Yuan, and then Bronya and Gepard are like, we cannot be underestimated. That actually works really well for them. Now we're fighting the Ebon Deer. We have cool powers ourselves. Bronya stood 8 feet tall and spanned 8 feet across the waist. Oh no. Oh yeah, thank you for watching. I know it is late for you. It was akin to a giant looking at a child. Gepard is ripping the enemies apart barehanded, apparently. Blade saves the day. Locha apparently defeats the Ebon Deer in like one hit by himself. Okay, so there are 6 chapters, and it takes us about 30-ish minutes to do a chapter. Thankfully, there are still 2 more days. 2.5 days. So, if it takes about 30 minutes, 3 and 4 an hour, 5 and 6 an hour. So that works out perfectly. So on Sunday, we're probably going to do the rest of this event in one sitting, and it's probably going to take the entire stream. So if that's not your cup of tea, totally understandable, because this man's story is a little chaotic. But that's what we'll be doing on Sunday. If we do have any extra time, we'll get started on this Trotter event. If not, we'll start doing this one on Wednesday of next week. And then just as a reminder, currently the Planner Fisher event is going on, so make sure that you do your simulated universe runs so that you can get double the drops. So that's everything mission-wise, and then, of course, Blade's showcase will be ending in about 4.5 days, and Kafka will be next, Kafka and Luca, and so that will put them on... They should drop sometimes on Wednesday or Tuesday if you're a day ahead on the timeline for the time zones. So we should be able to actually see them on Wednesday's stream. And then I will get to determine if I'm going to go for Kafka or not based on if she has pupils. So we'll get to see. And then here is my current... Oh, I have the pill in my inventory. Currently have 40 pulls, and we are at... For Star Rail, we have like 24 pity, so we might be able to pull Kafka with what we have. Now, if she has pupils, I've told you all before, I'm not getting her if she has pupils. We'll try and do like 1 or 2 pulls so that we can get Luca, hopefully. But yeah, if she has pupils, I don't want her. But yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. Oh yeah, Arcane Sniper, so that you all can hear the rest of it real quick. And so he gets injured, and his cousin tells him about a virtual reality game that's fully immersive. Like, it feels almost like you got teleported to a new world. And so in that game, he would be able to walk, and they're hoping that it will make him like less depressed because he'll be able to walk in game. And so also in the game you can make money, and so his idea is that they're like, oh, you can play the game, hopefully feel better because you can walk in game and you're no longer paralyzed like you are in real life, and then you can start making money in the game to save up enough for the surgery you need so that you can walk again. And that's about where I am. I've only really gotten through the beginning. I think I've read it before, up to a certain chapter, but then it's been a really long time since I've read any of it, so I had to start from the beginning. But yeah, so and also in the game you can actually choose like a gun class. It's a fantasy-based game, so most of the classes are based off of fantasy, but you can be a musketeer using like old style guns. He doesn't mean to click on it because he tries it out when he gets to select his character type. And he sees that it's actually like a really bad class to pick because the guns work so terribly because they're trying to make a balance for the fantasy game. But he accidentally gets pulled out of the game while he's selecting his class, and because of that he's forced to select the gun class, and there's no class reselection. And so, because of the fact that he can't remake his character, he can't reselect his class, he's just stuck as a musketeer. And so he's trying to do the game even though he has like a really bad class. So it's like an underdog kind of story in like both his reality and in the game. So I think it's pretty good. I'll give you all an update on how I feel about it, probably on Sunday, because there's quite a few of the chapters out right now. I think there's like over 50 out currently. And so if I'm still into it or if I'm like thinking about dropping it, I'll let you all know on Sunday. Alright, so thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely day, lovely night, or a lovely weekend. And hopefully I'll see you all on Sunday. Goodbye.